Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that the issue ongoing with the Wuthering Waves 2.5 story, all of the drama, the 7 out of 10 score, the clapped walnut, the blaming, the lack of accountability, it has crossed international waters. And it appears, ladies and gentlemen, that CN, China themselves, where Jenazad is currently at, attending Kurofest, it seems that China is not very happy with what's going on as well. We have John over here, a member of Tectone's Gacha community, who's gone ahead and posted some comments, the thumbnail of what it looks like on Bilibili, and some translated comments for what the takes are by the viewers in that region. And so we could spend some time just going ahead and reading all the translations over here and stuff, or we could just go ahead and start taking a look ourselves, because it appears that, well, I've gotten access to a Bilibili account, and I can actually see what the comments are in real time. And this is the best part about all of it. It's not just Glaive Keo's video that got reposted to CN. It actually turns out that Cosmos ZR's skit regarding the entire issue has also gotten reposted to CN. And boy, oh boy, are there some crazy comments that are coming out of it. So why don't we go ahead, take a look ourselves, and then see what this discussion is all about and what these individuals are saying. Because one thing in particular that you can say about the comments that we're seeing on here is that they would probably dislike Jenazad's video. They're probably not very happy with what's actually going on when it comes to his takes. And this is a really, really funny situation. This is a hilarious situation in particular because Jenazad has gone ahead and on the record, he said that the hate brigade, the people disagreeing with his takes, the people calling him out are all just Saint viewers. And this is the thing. You don't have to take my word for it. You don't even have to take his messages that he's repeatedly sent in other Twitch creators' word for it. You can also just go ahead and listen to it from the man himself, from these clips over here. And you want to know why we're watching these clips on Discord instead of Twitch? It's because Jenazad decided to delete these clips from his channel. Much like how he deleted the original video that spawned all of this drama in the first place. Why don't we listen to a couple of these clips?
It's Saint and 90% of his dick riders. Well, I would say his cult of dick riders. I would say, like, you know, 90% of the hate comments I got are him and his community, basically.
90% of the hate comments that he currently has are because of me and my community, apparently.
Well, yeah, a majority of the comments are absolutely ridiculous. Like, you look at them and it's like, what the actual fuck? Like, they're just complete bad actors, obviously.
And he deleted that video that he's talking about, so no one can verify those comments for himself.
Mostly spread from Saint's community? Well, obviously.
So you can clearly see over here, he has blamed me on numerous outlets for the situation going on. He has blamed me in so many different ways regarding the entire matter. But why is it that CN only needs to take a cursory view of the situation, and they're gonna say stuff like, the problem wasn't that he gave it a 7, but that his reason for giving it a 7 was ridiculous. So, are these comments, are these people that are negative towards Jenazad, that are, you know, hate comments, are they a part of my community too? Are 90% of these people, are they actually Saint viewers as well? Even though half of my videos, probably like 80% of my videos aren't even on Bilibili, and if they aren't uploaded by me. So, let's go ahead and see what these individuals are saying, because apparently, they're my viewers. Let's go ahead, let's get right on into it. Alrighty, first comment up. So those videos of the black guys doing something funny was meant to satirize this. Well, that's a bit of an incorrect description, but I think that this is the video that the comment is talking about. What else? I figured it out. This is the one that we read. Let's continue reading it. The problem isn't that he gave it a 7, but rather his reasoning for it felt ridiculous. The community's dissatisfaction with him erupted when he acted condescendingly, using AoE attacks against other players. This is similar to how someone in the Chinese community recently used Wuthering Waves, which is Ming Chao in China, to encourage players to chase Wuthering Waves away. A 9 or 7 is perfectly normal. The problem lies in his reckless comments. His "you don't spend as much as I do, you don't love the game as much as I do, you clowns have no right to judge me" attitude when challenged. That's by Wormhead. A World is Full of Smiles responds with, a simple, I'm sorry, I'll definitely read the story carefully next time can solve the problem, but he has to escalate it to an AoE for the entire player community. I have to teach him a lesson. Dogface. Oh boy, so I guess it turns out that for most people looking in on the situation, the natural perspective to have, ladies and gentlemen, is that you are against Jenazad and you are against the takes that he made. That is what most people, on average, are feeling after they watch Clay's video, after they see the breakdown of the situation. And as somebody that's been on the front lines of this entire issue, that's covered it the most out of everybody on YouTube, Glaive's video is one of the most faithful representations of the issue that you can actually have at this point. He breaks it down very well, everything that went on and everything that's come out as a result of it. And the thing is, you still have Jenazad going in, getting himself stun-locked over what the issue actually has become. And it's insane that people with a fucking language barrier, because they're in China, are able to understand the issue better than him when he is the person that is directly involved in it. Isn't that just baffling? Isn't that just crazy? That's just fucking ridiculous. And there are apparently some comments below over here that are like in Chinese. Oh, wait, no, these are from fucking English people and they translated back to Chinese. Oh, never mind. Those are the comments on YouTube. We can, well, you can just look those up yourself. If I were to rate his apology video, I would give it a 7 out of 10. This 7 out of 10 meme is so funny that it is being adopted by fucking China, brother. This situation is so ridiculous. It is so fucking absurd that even China is going fully on board. Jenazad has officially become shitbull, Mr. Worldwide, because of how absurd his crash out has been. Kuro's plot is done this way with a lot of blank space and deliberate performance in the hope of encouraging players to discuss the plot and debate more, which is what 90% of the community did for version 2.5 and the complex story with Filova. However, it is a bit weird that Europe and the United States have a big fuss because of this reason. Jenazad, congratulations. You have once again turned North America into a laughingstock in the gacha space because you have the inability to say sorry. We now have the reputation for elevating CCs who are willing to crash out at every single opportunity and make a big deal out of absolutely nothing. And now we are being referred to as the clown region. You know what? I can't even get that mad about it because they're kind of accurate. Because in what universe is it rational for a CC to wish death upon their viewers because they had a light bit of criticism pointed at them? Not a very rational one. So I can understand why CN is saying this. Their concerns are actually very valid. Jenazad said he spent more money than everyone here, but isn't he a business owner? Has he ever spent a penny himself? I think he's talking about his viewers like paying for everything for him, which I think is something that did actually occur, where people would like donate money to him so that he would C6 these units. Brother, I'm not gonna lie, they're kind of meaner than us. They're kind of meaner than NA. They're taking some heavy shots here. I'm gonna be honest. If anything, NA had the kitty gloves on. And now CN's over here, ready to deal some fucking damage, bro. We were the sub DPS, and I guess now we've built up our concerto, and we're outro skilling over to CN to complete the team's rotation. Jenazad, you are getting passed around like a copy of Stringmaster. I hope you understand that. Is there any flow saving? Does that mean summary? I think that means summary. Comments, a spam version. Jenazad was inattentive while playing the story, ultimately giving it a 7 out of 10, and saying he found the 2.5 rating difficult to understand story. His viewers criticized him, note, not for giving a low rating, but for calling it difficult to understand without actually playing the story. He then broke down and began attacking and insulting the entire Woo-Wah community. He then contacted his friend Tectone. For the record, Jenazad and Tectone are friends, and Asmongold and Tectone are friends. Tectone, blindly helping Jenazad without knowing the truth, began to mock the entire Woo-Wah community. This is when his original claim of Woo-Wah players criticizing Jenazad for not paying attention to the story and giving random ratings morphed into Wuthering Waves players can't accept low ratings, and the rumors spread across the community. Brother, these guys in CN are hitting the nail right on the head with this hammer, and they're doing all of it through one of the biggest language barriers in gacha gaming. They are doing it with one of the biggest language barriers in fucking gacha history right here. Guys, this is how clear and cut the issue has become. This is how well defined it is. And you'll still have Jenazad over here denying reality. Is CN's take on the issue enough for him to realize where the fault is actually coming from? That's option A. Or option B, is Jenazad gonna blame somebody else again? This is what I think is going to happen. Jenazad's going to see what's going on over in CN, and Jenazad will proceed to blame Glaive Kyo and Cosmo for making their videos. He's going to say that they're spreading misinformation, that they framed the issue in a way that clearly paints him in a negative light, and that's why people in CN are reacting this way. I'm gonna get blamed for covering this and making this vid. Glaive's gonna get blamed for making his video, even though it's an accurate recount of the events. And then Cosmos is gonna be blamed for making a funny skit out of the situation. That's what I think is going to happen. Because when we're at the point where it's this clear, everybody in this comment section is in unison about what is going on. And this is the first time they've been introduced to the issue. And they don't have the previous influence, right? They don't have the previous bias that a lot of people on the global side or the EN side have had getting introduced to the situation. I think it's kind of clear what's going on. I think it's really clear what's going on. And it's time for some creators to start actually taking some accountability. But you know he's not going to do that. You know he won't. Because in the 3 to 4 days since his crash out and since his dog shit apology, he has not been able to keep other people's names out of his mouth when it comes to defending himself. And that's the only thing he's done. Just continually defend himself and keep spamming how it's all because of a 7 out of 10. Let's keep reading. I've seen European and American players discussing this, but I didn't expect it to become so big. It shouldn't have happened. But Jenazad decided to take a small spark, pour gasoline all over it, turn it into a raging inferno, and then proceed to blame everybody else for creating the spark in the first place. It's your guys' fault for making the spark. Who cares if I'm the reason why it's a raging flame right now? It's your guys' fault. The player community is really the biggest victim of the online community. In most cases, the behavior of extreme lunatics directly represents the entire player community, and they are unable to explain themselves. You want to know the most ironic thing that's occurred? Jenazad, in his apology video, directly outlines the reason for his crash out being the lunatics on Twitter. The lunatics that are, doing all these things. He said that was the actual target for when he said, Kuro bots are worthless. They're too stupid to live. I'm going to Kurofest. He said that that's because he was responding to lunatics on Twitter. And unfortunately, his crash out was so severe and so ridiculous, he is now being directly referred to as the actual lunatic in the Woo-Wah community. He said they were the reason why he crashed out. But now he's the one getting branded as one of those freaks. I feel like it doesn't get much more poetic than this. This author has good logic. Alas, community. Flow-saving version. That's just the summary that we just read. It's just for traffic, but if you want traffic, you should be serious. After all, you are a blogger discussing the plot, not some game operator. It's okay if you don't understand it, even if you are just pretending. To put it bluntly, those who eat traffic, those who eat melons, and those who are full and bored. Do they mean that they're eating cars on the highway? Is that what that translation means? If so, that's crazy. Foreign communities are so abstract. To be precise, the abstract one is the CC. 1737. This is rough, bro. This is rough, brother. I'm telling you, CN is mean, man. CN is mean. Holy shit. Holy shit. But the dream that wanted to come true has long been entangled in darkness and lies. The arrogant leader who seems to have everything is nothing more than a pitiful and hateful person who indulges in a fantasy bubble. Let me repeat the official statement. The Wanderer will eventually come out of the hypocritical salvation and end the meaningless sacrifice of others saving the world. However, players only pay attention to Frollo and did not notice the official foreshadowing of the Wanderer. They're talking about Rover here, not Jenazad, guys. They're talking about Rover here. They're talking about Rover here. That was a story translation. Relax. Yeah, I know you all thought they were referring to him over here, but Wanderer means Rover in Chinese. To put it bluntly, giving it a 7 is nothing. Mocking the community is the biggest sin. If I were this anchor and saw something going on, I would just start a live broadcast and watch the recorded broadcast with the barrage, go through the plot together, and discuss it. That's it. This guy chose a path of no return and scolded the audience and the community. He is also a god. He really deserves it. Ladies and gentlemen, is it becoming more clear what the immediate reaction is when somebody sees these clips? This is what the people in CN saw.
Bots are a waste of breath, bro.
And that's the takeaway that they're getting from the moment. They get what he's saying. They get a translation.
I haven't even looked at the...
And those are the takes that they're ready to go with. And so at the end of the day, guys, is 90% of Billy my viewers, or is it that Jenazad has fucked up tremendously and is being completely, absolutely, without a doubt, completely delusional right now? Which is true? What is the actuality? Because he's managed to paint this narrative that all of Global, all of EN is reacting this way solely because of me. It's 90% my responsibility why EN is acting this way. Why is it that when CN hears about it for the first time, they react in the same exact way as Global? And it's a different content creator whose video they're watching. This is Glaive's video, not mine. So why do all of the viewers and the commenters have the same take as me? Just wait for the personal attacks against Glaive. They're coming. Wait for the personal attacks against Cosmo. They're coming. Because instead of taking any sense of accountability, apologizing, addressing the issue, and moving on, you know how this creator is going to react. You know what they're going to do. So let this be an opportunity for Jenazad to finally break the mold for a single time in his life. To stop for a single second blaming everybody else for the issues that he has caused for himself. Because according to him, it's never his fault. And I provided so many pieces of evidence. I've already provided so many pieces of fucking proof that what he's saying over here is complete, utter bullshit. Do not let him spread any more of these tainted fucking narratives, because you know that this guy, at least in this issue, does not have a genuine bone in his body when addressing his own wrongdoings. So yeah, that's that, ladies and gentlemen. That's the issue. I hope that we have gone ahead and we've addressed all of the personal wrongdoings that we might have committed, because I am not going to take responsibility for somebody else's crash out. I am not going to be a person that takes the blame for somebody else fucking up just because I happen to be their own personal boogeyman. Because I know that's what I am to Jenazad. Otherwise, he wouldn't be begging other creators to bar me from events that he's attending. He wouldn't be begging them to do that if that wasn't the case. And so, one last thing that's apparently really, really good here. There was a... Wait, where's the dog? What'd the dog do? This is my favorite comment over here from the Cosmo video. I know we didn't go through those, but I think the Glaive one is the one that really breaks down the issue the best. When someone complains to me that the plot is boring without paying attention to it, I'm like... So yeah, that's that, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let me know what you all thought about this. Peace out.